announce who is next, so you know that you'll be coming back to Brady. So I think it's Jeff, and then this after Jeff.
All right. Barring that, we're good.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Browersify. Browersify, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it, but what it is basically is a really simple tool that allows you to do Node.js style require statements in your front-end JavaScript code. So this is kind of what it looks like. You can actually do something where you say var $ equals require jQuery, var backbone equals require backbone, or the important bit is var my module equals require, /my module. So it looks just like Node.js. My thing stopped. So if you're making your own module, it looks like this. You just look like standard module.exports the same way you would do with Node.js. And this is great because you can actually use npm install, npm update. You can do a package.json to go and define what all your dependencies are. Why you'd want to do this is this also means that when you're writing your own code, you're not screwing with the global namespace. You're not dumping a whole bunch of stuff in window.whatever. You actually can, when you're building your own modules, all of those variables stay local to that module unless they're explicitly exported. And even then, they're only getting picked up by the various require statements. You can also do isomorphic JavaScript, which some people hate that name because they have nothing better to do, but whatever. It's the JavaScript you can run in Node and also in client side. And that's actually the holy grail in a lot of cases. If you have some sort of logic that you're doing, you want to do some validation in JavaScript, but also you need to do the back-end validation to be 100% sure that it works. This allows you to do that. You literally have the same exact code. But also, the great thing is it cleans up your code. Your code gets really, really clean. You get used to, if you have a whole bunch of different files that you're concatenating together, you can end up cleaning up everything a lot by actually turning them into modules, requiring the modules, and then exporting very explicit interfaces. And to install it, npm install -d Browersify. And especially if you already have like a gulp or a grunt file or something like that, some sort of process where you're generating your JavaScript, then this is a no-brainer. You should absolutely do this. And you would pretty much just replace whatever you're doing right now to concatenate your JavaScripts together. You would then, instead, you can just use this. And if you have a library that is not npmable, jQuery is, a couple of other major ones are. Some might not be. There's this piece called Browersify shim, which will go and sort of wrap around those non-npmable libraries. Drawbacks. I did a test today as I was tweaking this, and added 552 bytes to my code. I'm okay with that. I also found that when I had a big, giant collection of files that are all being concatenated together, and I switched it to Browersify, and it got a little bit bigger, more than that 552 bytes. But it was absolutely worth it, in my opinion, because the code just became way more modular. I was able to actually swap pieces out as I needed to. And I still don't know how to pronounce it. I keep wanting to call it Browersify or Browersify. I don't know what it is. But anyway, that's it. That's pretty much all there is to know. And it's simple documentation there, anything like that. All right, questions? Yeah.
So, just out of curiosity, how well does it play with the transparent?
So I use it in a workflow right now that's powered by Gulp, and we use CoffeeScript because we are a Ruby shop. So in that whole Gulp process, we have a thing where we're going in CoffeeScript to JavaScript, and then the JavaScript gets Browersify together, and then all these other various steps. But it fits in fine with that, at least on the CoffeeScript side. Oh, yep. I don't know that package, so I can't really speak to it. Does it do the same type of thing where you can just basically say, require this, require that?
But it kind of replaces Gulp, so it's just that kind of stuff.
That would be better. I mean, the big thing here is it actually goes through and it's running through the code and finding the bits where you said require, and then going and snipping little bits here and there and then it concats a little bit or prepends a little bit at the front where it says, okay, here's the definition of the require function. So it actually changes how your code looks a little bit. But if you already, certainly if you had something like that, there's probably a way to slot this thing in as one piece of the workflow, I would bet, if you wanted to do that.
I think Webpack actually do the same thing.
Oh, excellent.
If you swap in your Cosmo library for Cosmo base, would you do the same requirement?
It does it once, yeah. What it does is it actually builds an entire dependency tree. It does all sorts of clever stuff, either that I don't understand or know what it's doing, but I know when it spits out the code, I said require like 57 times and all sorts of different places for the exact same module. It only added it once. It does do some sort of crazy tree cycle business that I don't know what it is, but it works.
Who's Jeff at? Can I-
Yep.
Jeff? I don't know which Jeff we have. Who's going to talk to me? You here right now? No? Oh, yeah. We've got another minute.